What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my next free agency news video. So earlier today I uploaded my little midway through recap of the biggest signings of free agency so far. If you have not seen that, I'll actually put the link to that in the description below. But anyway, get into today's news. So a lot of these are just people officially signing with teams, but you know, after the whole DeAndre Jordan situation last year, you don't really know a player's going to go until he officially signs. So, let's get into it. Start with Boston Celtics officially signing Al Horford. So, I'm actually thinking about doing a separate video because Al Horford to the Celtics has a much bigger implication to the Eastern Conference than a lot of people think. And actually a much different implication. So, I talked about the move originally when he signed with the Celtics originally, so if I get more into that, it'll be a separate video. But next one, Harrison Barnes officially signs with the Dallas Mavericks. I've talked about this move also a lot, and, you know, I think that I said it's, you know, while it is a little bit too much for Harrison Barnes, the Mavs kind of needed to do it to get a player like this that, you know, can step up and possibly, you know, be a star player in the NBA. We'll see. He has that type of potential, but again, I personally don't think he's going to live up to it. I think he could. I'd say it's a 70-30 chance he does. 70 being the not. So, Paul Pierce. This is actually pretty big news. He's actually expected to play another year. I thought he was going to retire. A lot of people said he would not. Still got a little bit left in the tank, so let's see where that goes. Next one, Kendrick Perkins. Expected to go to the Warriors. I wouldn't say expected, but there's been talks, and, you know, good buddies with Kevin Durant, and, you know, the Warriors are a little bit short on big men on the bench, so it would make sense. Probably get him for a veterans minimum, too. Next one, big news coming out of Houston. James Harden is now locked up until 2020 in Houston for, I believe, 4 years, $118 million due, about $26 million this coming year, and then as much as $36 million his last year on the contract. I think it's a good move for the Rockets. I mean, James Harden to me is one of the best players in the league. I'd say top 10. I mean, it depends on who you ask. Maybe not two-way, but I think he's one of the most unstoppable players on the offensive end of the floor. So take with that what you want. Next one. Could be big news for the Sixers considering the amount of young talent they could have playing this year. Dario Saric will play in 2016, 2017. As far as I know, here, let me start. Before I go any further on that, let me make sure that, yeah. All right. Yes, officially joining the Sixers this year. I want to make sure I had all that news straight before I gave it to y'all. So, Saric, good offensive scorer. Similar in my mind to Mary Hezonja. Different players. Hezonja a little bit more of a spot-up shooter. A little bit more of a mid-range scorer from the 2 or the 3 spot. Mainly the 2 spot for Hezonja. Anyway, move on to the next one. And Troy Daniels sign and trade to the Memphis Grizzlies for 3 years, $10 million. Another big one. Grizzlies even shorter on cap room right now, but also the Grizzlies getting deeper on the bench. I mentioned that earlier today. I really like where the Grizzlies are headed right now. Good move. They get the sign and trade from Charlotte. So, again, headed in the right direction. Next one. Nothing official yet, but Jared Sullinger, due to not that much free agency interest in him, which kind of surprises me. But anyway, leaning towards a 1-year deal with Boston to stay there for another year. Probably wouldn't be for too much money, but you know, I thought Sullinger was for sure out of Boston this offseason, especially after the Horford thing. I thought they were ready to move on from that, but Sullinger's still a decent player, still a player that'll get you maybe 10 and 8 every game. So as long as he's used in the right way, I think he's a very good player. Next one, Arron Afflalo officially signs with the Sacramento Kings. Big to me because I think the Kings got Afflalo for a pretty good deal. I mean, Afflalo to me is still a player that can play in the top 7 in pretty much any rotation in the NBA. Still a very, very good depth player. Maybe not a starter anymore, but, you know, I think he has the capability to. Just one more good season to get there. Next one, And last one that I wanted to announce today, Tyler Ulis officially signs with the Phoenix Suns. Now, I announced some rookie contracts and some not when they're drafted, because just because you're drafted doesn't mean you're going to get signed, first of all. I mean, if you're a first rounder, you probably will. But, again, there's a few second-round picks every year that won't get signed. And you know what? I'm glad Tyler Ulis did. I think it's a guy to watch out for in Summer League. Speaking of Summer League, a very, very entertaining time to watch Summer League basketball right now. If you're hungry for basketball, you can't wait for the NBA season to come back around again. That is a very good way to calm the urge, which is Summer League basketball is one of my favorite off-season events of any sport. You know, hockey doesn't really have that. Basketball, in the offseason, they have the Olympics and Summer League basketball this year. Like, you got plenty to fill that urge. Football, I mean, you got the spring games, that's about it. And then baseball doesn't really have too much of an offseason, so. And when baseball is in their offseason, unless you're just an enormous baseball fan, you can fill that void with, in my opinion, more exciting sports to watch. But again, that's just my opinion. But anyway, that's pretty much it. See ya.